I'm at a hotel now. She's blowing up my phone, texting me that this isn't a big deal. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Zone Stories. Today we have a story where this woman thought her fiancé wouldn't leave her when he found out she is sick, but she was wrong. Let's see how this story ended. I'm absolutely livid right now. I've just got back from a long-term assignment overseas and found out my fiancé has been cheating on me for the entire time. That's bad enough, but it gets far, far worse. She got herpes from the other man. Her plan was to infect me, too, so I would have a reason not to dump her. Are you kidding me? Can anyone explain to me her logic? She was being so aggressive to get me into bed. Normally, she gives me a couple of days to get over jet lag before she initiates intimacy. But this time she was talking all kinds of dirty, and she was climbing into my lap in the parking garage. Something just didn't seem right, so I told her I needed to recover from my long flight. This started a huge fight that got worse on the drive home, and turned into a full-out screaming match once we got back home, complete with her breaking things. I didn't understand what was going on, and told her I was going to call the police, so they could lock her up for her own good. And that's when she told me she'd cheated on me with a guy from Tinder. She said it was a mistake, that she was sorry, and begged me to forgive her. I just stared at her, trying to breathe. I told her she had to leave, give me some room, but she fell to the floor and grabbed my legs, telling me that I can't throw her out, that I can forgive her if we could just make love. I demanded to know why that's so important. In between screaming, sobbing, and ranting, she said she had herpes. Her life was ruined if I dumped her, and it was my fault because I wouldn't have bedroom activity with her right then and there. I felt like a million cockroaches were crawling all over me. I grabbed my keys and left. I'm at a hotel now. She's blowing up my phone, texting me that herpes isn't a big deal, that if we both had it, it would make us a stronger couple, and we could even share medicine. She put a laughing face emoji after that line. I think she's going insane. We've been together for 5 years, engaged for the last year, and I don't think I know who she is at all. I've taken multiple showers and still can't get rid of the feeling bugs are crawling all over me. I can't turn out the lights. I can't even close my eyes. Has anyone ever dealt with anything like this? What was she thinking? What am I supposed to do next? First, thank you to everyone who replied with support and ideas going forward. I was sitting in a hotel at my wit's end when I made that post, having no one to call that late or early in the morning, and not knowing how to even begin discussing what had happened. Of course, the relationship is over. That was never in doubt, and I apologize if anything in my original post made that unclear. A lot of you made comments and sent messages of constructive things to do next to detangle me from my now ex-fiancé, which is what I was trying to ask for. Those of you that told me not to go back home right away, you were right, and thank you. I was planning to head back the next day, but because of your comments, I called her cousin, nearest relative who lives nearby, and told her everything. She didn't believe me at first, but when she got to our place, she found my ex-fiancé sitting in the middle of our living room, staring at the wall, incoherent, with dozens of our pictures torn up all around her. The cousin got her some help, called 911, and a very understanding police officer showed up with a social worker. Together they got my ex-fiancé into a psychiatric clinic. I talked with the officer, and he said it was okay to go back home and clean up. He took pictures for his report. He also suggested I get a temporary protective order to keep her away from me, filed this morning, waiting for the hearing, and that her cousin get a conservatorship. Ex-fiancé is doing that bad. When talking to the lawyer about the protective order, she told me that it is a crime to intentionally infect someone, or even try to with a STD in our jurisdiction. But the key word part is legal intent. With her mental breakdown, it's not likely the DA's office would prosecute. To be honest, I would rather she just get help for her mental health than a criminal conviction. My friends came over and cleaned up our place, my place now. They wouldn't let me do much, telling me to just relax. I ended up sleeping 10 hours straight. Problem is now I have time to think. So many questions, no answers. It didn't help that her cousin showed up to return the engagement ring. They took all my ex-fiancé's jewelry when she was admitted. Holding that ring in my hand really hit me hard. Now I keep feeling guilty, especially about the time I spent away from home on assignments. My job involves helping people in some of the poorest places in the world, and when I'm there, I sort of go numb, and that numbness lasts for a week or so when I get back. Depression is a reason a lot of people with my job resign. Maybe I should find a new job. Maybe I was asking too much of her. Could any woman handle that? Anyway, I had a few minutes and wanted to convey my thanks to all of you who kept me sane when it all went down. If she truly loved him as he thought she did, then if there was a problem with him being away, she would have told him. If his being away was affecting her feelings towards him, she would have told him. But she didn't. Why? Because it gave her the perfect opportunity to indulge her hobby of playing cowgirl on other guys' boners. That why? So let her family and the state take care of her, and he should focus on healing himself. I have been dating this girl for 3.5 years. When I met her, she was staying with a friend as she was homeless. We hit it off, and I had a great feeling about her. However, her friend wanted to kick her out as soon as she got a job. I decided I didn't want to lose her and quickly found us a place to stay. So we start living together and go about our lives for those 3.5 years. Everything is great. Meets the parents and they love her. Meets my friends, and while they don't talk much, everyone idealizes our relationship. It's all good, or so I thought. Over time, the bedroom activity lessens, but I figure she takes meds and that ends the desire for a lot of girls. I'm always offering ideas to spice things up, but she rejects them usually, so she must just be vanilla. Lots of women are. Man, it really is true that when you love someone, you'll overlook their flaws and a lot of flags. On top of this, she also has financial troubles. I started assisting in small ways at first, but it grew and grew. Eventually, at this point, I'm basically entirely independent as I pay for everything. Over the years, she always said she greatly appreciated all I did for her, and that she felt bad I wasn't getting laid more, so she'd suggest an open relationship. The first few times I rejected it, but finally this past January I said fine, we could give it a shot. This is actually a blessing in disguise. Flash forward a couple of weeks, and we've finally met others and done the deed. I met a nice girl over Tinder who understands how poly stuff works. I won't speak of her as she's actually a good person. My GF has a guy lined up, a man she knew from ages ago she hasn't spoken to in years. It seems fishy, but I go along with it. During said time, she says she couldn't get together with Man A, but she got together with another friend, Man B. I'm okay with this because it still falls within the rules and parameters we set up. It turns out her and Man A had a fight, and she's never talking to him again. Flash forward to this last Friday, and I wanted to make a nice romantic collage for her with the intentions of proposing this year on our anniversary. However, while on her MacBook, I accidentally opened up a couple apps with the sliding part on the bottom. I hate those things. One of the apps was her texts, and I see Thursday texts with Man A. Now that I know she's lied to me, I'm curious. I open it up and see that she's been seeing him for a year now. Half the things she tells me she doesn't do, she's been doing with him. I call her out on it, and she seems remorseful. The following day, we have a sit down and discuss how to move forward. I want her to cut back on her drinking, help me with bills since she clearly has money to spare to see Man A. Be honest, put in more effort and stop seeing and talking to Man A. She agrees. She thinks I'm stupid though, or doesn't believe me on the earning trust back. Because I got home from work before her and checked the MacBook one last time to see what her goodbye was before she deleted him in front of me. Turns out she's still planning to see him and thinks I'm ridiculous for wanting an honest relationship. So she admits she's just doing what I want, so she has a place to stay until the lease is up. Maybe 30 minutes ago, she's even talking to a friend about how ridiculous it is to have dealt with me for 3 years. I've bought this woman a home, a car, made sure she can keep her job, got her 5 pets and dropped over 10 grand on her, and have even helped take on her debts. Yet she continues to leech off of me. So this week I'm making plans to get everything in order and evict her. The apartment is solely in my name. I will never be lending money ever again. And the next girlfriend had better be able to stand 100% on her own. I'm done playing money bags for nothing in return, including honest to God love. If I missed anything, I can add necessary details. I'll try to post an update after I confront her, but I'm trying to wait until I have more evidence. While she left for work, I went through old emails. Again, not the brightest to not have deleted her trash folder. Apparently, while she claims the feelings were real, she never actually cared for my touch, both in bedroom activity and just even a hand on her back. She's been lying since the first day we met. Her and Mana think I'm in the wrong for going through her stuff, and that if we were in an open relationship anyway, then it doesn't matter. Why is he so upset? They genuinely think I'm in the wrong here. She even had plans to try an errand for the next month. She never intended to try and make it work, which is odd, because I actually gave her an out where she'd still get to live here. We wouldn't be a couple and she could freely do whatever and not lose Mana. But she still lied, said she'd agree to my terms, and then never intended to do so. So takes to friends and family, and we have a game plan. Tomorrow we get a storage unit and a U-Haul. Then Wednesday, when she's gone all day, I'm getting everything of mine out. She'll come home, and I'll drop the bomb that she has to the end of the month, because that is when I'll be out. All my loved ones are chipping in to pay the fee for me to leave early, and I'd stay with my parents a few months until the debt is paid off, and I can move out on my own. Also a good excuse to stay single for a bit, living with mom and dad. I'll provide another update either if anything happens sooner or after things go down Wednesday. Thank to those that have had kind supportive words. Many life lessons have been learned with this woman. We talked last night. Things went smoother than expected. Indeed, she had an exit plan, and if I hadn't said things, she was going to sit me down and break up with me. We talked and drank for quite a long time. A lot of the harsher words were mostly to keep Mana from driving down here to try and pick a fight with me. I did ask if that was true, then why is she with and choosing a toxic guy over me? We got out every brutal honest truth, and for her, while she did love me, and we did have a good thing, it entirely came down to the bedroom activity. She just has a thing for guys like him. As she put it, it's messed up and wrong. She has severe daddy issues and trust issues to work through. So ironically, being with a man much older than her that's weird when she's stressed out just feels right to her. She apologized and acknowledged that it wasn't right, and I didn't deserve what she did at all, but that's the truth. She's screwed up and needs to work on herself. I was honest and told her that she really needs to get things figured out in therapy before trying to date anyone, or she's just going to hurt someone again. She agreed. We actually agreed on almost everything. She did get a little hostile when it came to the pets, but for the first time in all of our dating, I got hostile with her in return. And she quickly calmed down and apologized that she's just mad at herself and the situation. She lashes out by nature, which is very true, and with me being the only one there, it just came out at me. I will be getting the dog, and she'll be finding a home for the guinea pigs. She has 2 weeks to move out, which is plenty of time, as she was working on a week and a half anyway. Today is when the moving process starts for me, and as soon as her place approves her, she'll be going out it as well. Thankfully, we're staying friends and staying in contact both for the dog, and she plans to still pay me back, so I'm not actually inheriting her debt. We did both at different points break down into tears and had to console each other. She realizes she's done some truly awful things that she hopes I can forgive her for, but knows she can't fully expect it. I cried because despite everything, love isn't a light switch you can turn off. It's been easier for her on that front because she's been falling out for a few months now. I, on the other hand, feel monstrously depressed, as I can't deny that even when I know this is the right choice, I still love her. I was going to propose to this woman, and now we just have to live together for 2 weeks, acting almost like strangers. Even this morning when she got out of the shower, she asked me to leave the bedroom so she could change. I've seen everything, but I guess we're at the point where we have to act as though we haven't known each other in that way. I know this is the right decision, and plenty will say it's about time, but that doesn't make me feel better. Right now I want to die, and the only reason I'm not trying anything is a combination of my loved ones wouldn't let me. I've tried in the past, and have given up when 30+ attempts didn't work out, and I do know that eventually I'll meet someone new. Sorry if this is long-winded. I'm just crying and depressed as I type this until my friends and family stop by to help move and cheer me up. This woman is a toxic person that he needs no part of. While she is at work, he should pack her stuff up in garbage bags and set it outside. He shouldn't let her come back. He deserves better.